All right, welcome to episode 2 of I'd Rather Be Rich, the podcast. I'm Tatiana Maslany, and I have here with me Tatiana Maslany, and Tatiana Maslany. Tatiana Maslany, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Being Tatiana Maslany, things are pretty great.
So, how about that eclipse?
I didn't see it.
I don't see much of anything anymore. I stared right at it.
Yeah, is it safe to assume we can go back to staring at the sun like normal now that the eclipse is over?
It's working out pretty well for Stevie Wonder, so he's still a hit musician. So.
Stevie Wonder's also not blind.
Is this how we're gonna start out? We're gonna start out with Stevie Wonder trutherism. Because we can.
Just like 9/11 inside job truthers and what's another one? Lizard people in the government.
Area 51.
Flat Earth, yeah, Kyrie Irving. Let's not even. There's another one.
Yeah. Boy, he's gonna have a real trouble listening to the Boston Globe.
But yeah, there's a Stevie Wonder isn't blind truther group.
I mean, I believe there's 5 of us here. We all have perfect vision, and none of us can play piano as well as Stevie Wonder. So yeah, I think he's got to be faking.
Are you saying that Ray Charles also faked then too?
He had Georgia on his mind. So that was a different story.
I'm 90% sure that they're the same person.
Stevie Wonder is just dreadlock Ray Charles.
Have you ever seen them in the same room?
That's a good point.
Whoa.
Mind blown.
Nah, Stevie
I
Wonder.
think that's fine.
Stevie Wonder trutherism is great.
We talked about the eclipse too, so.
All right, let's get into
It heated up the open.
All right, so first on the docket.
lukewarm. That was a lukewarm open.
For video game news, Middle-earth Shadow of War Endgame is revealed. So it's something called Shadow Wars, and it was reported by Eurogamer. Basically, it's going to be a mini campaign that's going to tie into the movie franchise. And basically, successfully finishing the endgame will grant you content to the true ending. So basically, you got to beat the game in order to get the true ending. There's probably gonna be like 3 endings.
A true ending.
Which allegedly ties into the story of Lord of the Rings.
How?
So basically, players will defend their fortress from a counter assault launched by Sauron.
Okay.
And then players have to defend a bunch of capture points. Those who succeed and eliminate the opposing war chiefs get that fortress. But failing to do so, you lose all those captains that you have. You have to rescue them before they get executed. And then you have to retake over the fortress that you just lost.
Or maybe I'll just get some better captains because obviously they weren't fit in my army if they lost the damn fortress.
And it's broken up into different stages that gets difficult as you progress.
You want the real true ending? How about you read the book?
I'm sure.
Put down the computer games, nerd, and learn how to read some Tolkien.
Okay, the real question is, how could you possibly tie in Shadow of War into like the Tolkien books? Like, if this happens during the Third Age, so we're gonna actually try to tie this. Oh, I'm just a wraith who jumps around, can convert orcs into people, and just take all of this supremely overpowered stuff and fit it in. You would have think that, Gandalf, at the very start of this, if this was actually canon, would have been like, yo, we should go recruit this ranger guy who can totally take over different orcs and, jump and, never ever die. Nah, that would be too easy. We're just gonna walk to Mordor. I mean, you would just think. And yes, I know, no one simply walks into Mordor. But apparently this guy does, because that's all Talion does in his first game. He just walks all over Mordor.
That is very true.
Sometimes he parkours over it. So I'm just saying, it seems like if they really, really wanted to get the ring there, let's go talk to Talion, because the guy just can't die.
I mean, in my opinion, it's basically a better version of Assassin's Creed maneuvering, because someone actually figured it out, and so you don't run over a random wall.
Well, I'll give them this. It is a better version of Assassin's Creed, considering that everyone lost where the hell the story ended up after Assassin's Creed 3. Juno is coming. You could say that in the same way that the dragons are coming, or the pizzas are on their way. Either one will work.
Kingdom Hearts is coming.
Ha! Don't tempt me.
Hashtag 2020.
To be honest, though, with Kingdom Hearts 3, the biggest thing is they better have Wreck-It Ralph in there. It's literally a movie about a video game. You have a chance to put a movie about a video game into a video game.
I mean, wasn't that kind of Tron?
That's Tron, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Tron doesn't count. Tron was awful. The first Tron was terrible. It was good in Kingdom Hearts, but Tron was awful.
Alright, so next, EA games for Nintendo Switch are dependent on the success of FIFA 18.
Challenge everything.
Rich, didn't you just get a Switch?
I did. It is awesome. I like it.
Oh, it finally came in?
Yeah, it came in like Monday, the day after our last podcast.
Yeah.
I got Zelda with it. It's super fun. I haven't tried it on the TV yet. I've been lazy and haven't felt like hooking it up to the TV.
Yeah.
It's great for I have 20 minutes before I go to bed, and I just played Zelda. And it's good to just kind of run around. I did a shrine. There's 300 of them or whatever. I did get the Binding of Isaac. It's messed up.
Yeah. Yes, it
really
is.
weird.
Have you never played Binding of Isaac before?
Have you never read the Bible?
I was not expecting the most abundant of religious tones ever in a video game.
Do you know what the game's about?
So just that little video intro, but other than that, no.
Okay, so the creators of Binding of Isaac actually made this game because he grew up in a religious household, and this is honestly what he felt like he was going through half the time. When you see him talk about his mother, those are some of the experiences he felt when he was forced to do go to church and stuff like that. So,
all right. So on continuing with the Switch, if FIFA can't succeed on the Switch, then basically that means EA is peacing out. Because if their most successful game can't survive on the Switch, granted, it's not going to look pretty. It's going to look, I think the Switch runs at 1080 non-docked, 980 docked, I think of what I remember. And it's also not having that campaign journey mode.
Are you saying EA is going to just not do Switch games anymore?
Yeah, basically.
If FIFA doesn't work out?
I think if FIFA doesn't work out, EA is going to be yeah, we're going. And EA is the only third party that has any interest in the Switch, which is a little depressing, but...
Yeah, it'd be cool if more would get into it.
It'd be cool if NHL came to the Switch. I did try it,
NHL won't even come to PC, neither will Madden.
That's true.
So because of that, I still have to buy a console. So
That
it's
is
my
true.
NHL machine.
PC Master Race.
Like you would know.
I know.
whoa.
Crackdown 3 is delayed until 2018.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
So
didn't
therefore,
either. What's
Xbox
Crackdown 1?
basically has no games.
What's
How many
Crackdown 1
orbs
and
do you
2?
have to find in the third one? Is there infinite orbs now?
Probably.
This is a quick reminder for you. If you haven't seen that video, go check out Michael Jones. He's part of Rooster Teeth. Watch him lose his mind over Crackdown 2. It's how he actually got hired by Rooster Teeth. Go watch, type in Michael Jones into YouTube, Michael Jones Crackdown 2, and you can watch him lose his mind trying to do one of these fetch quests to get these orbs. It's hilarious. I am sad they delayed it, though, because that means no more Terry Crews Crackdown commercials for another 1 year.
Who's Mike Jones?
Michael...
YouTube
Yeah,
personality.
Michael Jones from Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
They do a bunch of stuff over there.
But anyway, Polygon.
I tried.
There was a tweet from Microsoft Studios Publishing General Manager Shannon Loftus that confirmed by telling Polygon that the game was delayed to give the developers more time. And when I saw it at E3, it did not look good. It looked really bad.
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem with a lot of, especially AAA, your big titles,
I mean,
is...
who knows what the budget is, but it has to be over $100 million.
Massive games like that, for whatever reason, you look at your Call of Duty franchises, and obviously they switch studios every game, every release, so you don't have them all crammed into just that 1 year release cycle.
Yeah.
But to do that big of a project with that big of a budget and having so many features and so many people working on it,
And it's going to be a huge open world.
trying to force all of those out within a year for a lot of companies,
Yeah, that's a lot.
it's a ton,
Supposedly,
and you can't do it.
when the original idea was that it was going to use cloud-based gameplay, so you could literally in multiplayer destroy the entire world. There could be the original concept was to have a 50-story building just collapse, and so I think they thought that was harder than it actually looked.
And if they have to push back the initial release to actually make the game playable,
It looked like a 360.
you need
game.
to do that. Battlefield
Yeah.
4, if you have played that and you remember back to
Yeah.
the original release, that game was so
It was
buggy,
really buggy.
so
It was
broken.
not good. Now it's good, but everyone's playing Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 4 still has a player base. but
Yeah.
just looking at it, all they had to do was... I know it's the worst thing they'd want to do, delay the release, but if they would have released a little later, broke the cycle, I know that's probably end of the world for them.
I know they didn't want. They probably wanted to come out before Call of Duty.
If they took their time more,
Yeah.
they could have fixed so many of the bugs before it actually hit the hands of their customers.
Yeah.
And the game would have been more like endgame Battlefield 4 is now.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So now the only issue is that Crackdown 3 is being delayed. There is no game other than Forza 7 that's coming out with the Xbox One X. And this will, again, harpen the issue that Xbox has no first party because this will be only 2 games that are exclusives to the Xbox One, being Halo Wars 2 and Forza 7. Those are the only 2 first party games that came out this year. PlayStation has had Nier.
Nier is trash. Next question.
Nier has like an average of a 95 on Metacritic.
And this
Nier
will be
is
for
also
the new
trash.
PlayStation,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
What?
Is this one the new one, like PS Pro?
No, these are just PS4 first party exclusives.
Oh, okay.
Like Nier Automata, Neo, Horizon Zero Dawn. These are all exclusives to the PS4, and they've all done extremely well. And
Sounds
then you
like-
got God of War coming out soon. It just harpens that Xbox.
Sounds
has
like
their
Xbox needs to bring back Halo.
Crash Bandicoot remaster.
Yeah, the Crash
but
Bandicoot.
apparently there's a rumor that it might be coming to the Xbox One.
Good. I would love to replay Crash
Well,
1 through 3.
who was involved in it was Activision.
Okay.
And they've said multiple times the only reason we're involved in video games is to make a profit. And they make Call of Duty, so there you go.
Well, fair enough.
So therefore, if the game is profitable on one console, it's probably going to come to the other console sooner or later.
I'd like to see the Crash Bandicoot trilogy on Xbox One. That was some of my earliest video gaming was that plus Crash Bash, which I'd love to see them also remaster.
Give me Diddy Kong Racing or give me death.
Ooh.
Next, Sea of Thieves, that pirate-based game it's made by Rare, the guys that from the 90s.
Yeah.
They confirmed that Sea of Thieves is crossplay.
Oh,
I thought that was cool. So you can play on PC and Xbox One together.
Oh, nice.
I know PC is like super mouse-based, but it's not really a game that I think will be super, like, if you're on a mouse, you're going to have a super advanced strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The only strategy I could see is if they're the ship battles. Those might be a little sighted, but they might do something. I don't know.
So I have a quick question about that now. Between computers, PCs, and Xbox One, for crossplay, do you need to have the Windows 10 Microsoft gameplay rather than Steam to play with Xbox One?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe
Okay.
so. I believe because their system is Xbox One, Windows 10.
Okay, so you can't do cross-platform between Steam and Xbox
No,
One.
it specifically says will feature support for Xbox One and
Yeah,
Windows
it's
10
going to be your
PC.
Windows games.
Okay.
Do you know if Blizzard is doing cross-platform? Because they're going to be hosting Destiny 2 on BlizzNet.
I
don't
that.
think Destiny.
I don't
2
think
will be
Destiny.
cross-platform.
Every system is going to have their own.
Okay.
They'll have their own
Yeah,
servers and
servers,
world
their own
and
network,
everything.
whatever you want to call it. Cross-platform stuff's cool. I know Rocket League does that already.
Yeah.
PC
So basically,
box to PlayStation.
they Rocket League is going to do it with everyone but PlayStation. So Gran Turismo Sport is getting a bunch of consoles with the PS4. They didn't look great. It's more just like a silver PlayStation 4 Pro, I think. Or no, it's the PS4 with it's just silver and has the Gran Turismo logo on it. It's not really super great.
Can't wait to spend $1,000 on that.
There's a picture of it.
Ooh, cosmetics.
shiny.
You can look for it on the PlayStation blog.
It doesn't affect my gameplay ability at all. I need to buy this.
It is the slim consoles, not the Pro.
Really, we're gonna be fat shaming consoles now.
Yes, exactly.
So another game that's coming out, The Crew 2 was announced on March 16th, 2018.
Is it the racing?
Yeah, it's the racing. They announced they're gonna have like planes and boats. It was cool. It was a little lackluster. It wasn't great. Age of Empires 4 was announced.
Yes.
So I know it's a long-standing.
Thank you.
This
Sid
is the
Meier.
20th anniversary of it. They announced that they're also remastering Age of Empires 2 and 3 after just I don't know when they're remastering 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd prefer 1 and 2.
No.
But they
love-
just announced 2 and 3, so I don't know. And
What
then
about Age
4.
of Mythology? I want to see Age of Mythology.
That's
I-
Final Live and Die.
I've never played that.
I like it. It was
Yeah.
the only I played Age of Mythology I played Age of Mythology and then Age of Empires 3.
I was original Age of Empires 2, then Age of Mythology, which was the one I spent most of the time, and then a bit of Age of Empires 3.
I played the first Age of Empires the most. I got a little bit into 2.
Best cheat codes in the history of video games, in my opinion. Some of the most classic things from there.
Yeah.
Just great.
Right.
The machine
That's
gun
like-
car in Age of Empires 2 is just
You didn't even need mods, right?
yeah.
I mean, now companies don't bother doing stuff like that because people just mod it themselves.
Yeah, and in these they were like, oh, you know, it'd be really cool if you had a rocket machine gun car that could just ride around and destroy literally everything for you. And all you need to know is using this cheat code. I believe after all this time, I think the one to get that is how do you turn this thing on, if I remember
There was
correctly.
in the original one there was one called Big Bertha. I think it was something like that. It was a rocket car.
Okay, next, a game made by EA called Fe, or Fee, F-E, I don't know. It's been said
think it's
either
pronounced
way.
Fe.
It's basically going to be like a little story-based game. You're like it's going to be like, trying to think of the game.
Isn't that the name
Like
of
Ori and the Blind Forest-esque.
Oh.
It's like a little platformer game.
Isn't that name like the name of that really annoying Zelda companion from Skyward Sword?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it
But anyway, they announced it's coming out next
Tina
year.
Fey?
And they announced it's coming to the Switch.
Okay.
That's basically it. Because originally it was announced for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But now they announced the Switch version.
Would you recommend getting a Switch based on your?
I would. It
Brief
depends.
playtime.
Like, I like Zelda. I like Binding of Isaac, but you don't have a PlayStation. I don't know if it's. I'm assuming it's been on Steam for forever.
But
Yeah.
Switch has Mario Kart,
Mario Kart.
and it's gonna have Smash Bros.
Eventually, whenever they feel like doing it.
It also-
Nothing has been announced.
Is there a party for it? Mario Party?
No, there is not. There has not been a Mario Party in quite some time.
That's disappointing.
It also,
I'm okay with that. That means I don't have to like ruin relationships.
I don't care. It's
but
worth it.
Let's
man.
see here what's coming out.
Also, the Switch is going to have Nintendo confirm this, and the Pokemon team confirmed this. Next generation of Pokemon will be on Switch.
Yeah, they did
Well,
announce the next. They just said an RPG Pokemon will be
Yeah, I mean that's.
on Switch.
I'll probably get it when that.
I mean, for all we know, it could be one
Yeah.
of those spin-offs.
Yeah, but the spin-offs were good. Besides the dude who just assaulted you with Ludicolo and had the
That's
ridiculous
fine,
hair.
but it didn't say it. It didn't say the next generation.
Booty
It just said
Colo,
RPG
booty Colo.
Pokemon
right.
will be announced. It said 2018, but the guy was doing like drawings in the video in E3, so that's probably gonna be like a Kingdom Hearts thing.
I mean, I'd be down for like a red blue remaster.
That'd be cool.
They
That'd
just
be cool.
they recently came out with those on the 3DS.
They
but
came
I
out
really-
with
No,
just
wait,
recently
what?
Gold and Silver.
Yeah, they released red, blue, yellow, gold, and silver all on the 3DS.
Like remastered or just.
I know
ported?
they
just
did.
ported.
They're just ported. They're not like.
I didn't know they. I knew they did
Yeah, I
Gold
want
and
one,
Silver,
like,
but I didn't know they did the first.
remastered like Pokemon. If you ever played Pokemon Coliseum,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You were looking like 3D.
that style.
Okay.
I liked that game, but like I just wish it was like classic gameplay. I didn't like the stealing Pokemon,
Pokemon
mechanics.
Coliseum
Yeah.
3 on the Nintendo Switch. I'd be fine with that.
Is there a
Wait,
Coliseum?
is that you're
too?
saying that's a
Yeah,
thing?
there is.
That's-
No, I would want a Pokemon.
Wait, there's a
Coliseum.
2? I thought
There's
there-
a 2.
Isn't it called something else?
Is it
It's
like
Pokemon
Gala?
Coliseum 2.
I thought it was Gale of Darkness or
There was
XD.
Gale of Darkness.
Yeah, because
I'm thinking of Pokemon Stadium. sorry.
Yeah, it was Pokemon Stadium
Yeah.
2, succeeded by Coliseum,
Coliseum-
and then followed by Gale of Darkness, which was in like the same thing, but you also had Shadow Lugia. So
Fine. Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Coliseum on the Switch.
Yeah, I liked. I remember liking Coliseum because it was cool having everything 3D. Like that had better graphics than like Sun and Moon did.
It
Oh,
did.
yeah.
And that
It was good. And it
10
came out
years
like
ago. But
they
it,
came out on the game. They both came out
It
on
was
the
GameCube.
GameCube.
I just didn't like the mechanics. I never.
The Shadow thing. It took a little while to get used to.
I never made it all the way through. I
Neither
just
did
wanted. I wanted
No,
like a
I stopped
classic-
playing the game.
I want a classic game, but in that style.
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn Easy Mode came out in the last update.
Is it too hard?
No, before it only started at normal. So they just decided to
Alright.
make an easy mode. I don't know.
You're really
come
reaching
on,
for-
you pansy!
I think we've run out of news if that's what you're talking.
No, I just quick. BioShock 10th anniversary.
They just came out with the definitive collection. Why did
Well,
they need a 10th
it actually
anniversary?
is the 10th anniversary.
I know,
of the
but
first
they
one.
just came out with the definitive. There's nothing to do.
So you get the collector's edition, but then you get
It also says
Um,
10 on it.
Oh yeah, sure.
you get a statue with a Big Daddy, and it like the drill I think works.
They haven't like used
That's
big.
pretty sweet.
They haven't used Big
you know,
Daddy since
little-
like
little-
Bioshock
little
1.
girl.
No, there's Big Daddies in Bioshock
Only
2.
thing
Are there?
is-
I haven't gotten there yet. I knew they were big sisters.
Well, have you played Bioshock 2?
No, I'm still working my way through 1.
Okay, so Bioshock 1 is you play as the one character.
Right.
Bioshock 2 is you play as one of the first generations of Big Daddies.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, like, there's still Big Daddies. There's one, like, or two.
There's a handful of Big Daddies in this set.
Yeah, there's only one big sister, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
who is like the main. It's like
And she's like super agile
Yeah.
and awful boss to face.
yeah, but she's like the main antagonist.
But basically,
for the most part.
the anniversary edition is only available at GameStop and the 2K store. It's $200.
Wait, is that just because of the figurine?
Yeah, so basically, I own the collection,
Yeah, so do I.
so I wouldn't buy this just because I'd be paying $200 for the statue.
Yeah.
It's a cool statue.
Rich, okay.
not $200.
So I plan on getting a 3D printer. When I get my 3D printer, you want me to just find you a file of that and just 3D print you it? Save you $200?
Sure.
Probably.
Okay, there you go. You can paint it yourself.
It's an 11.9 statue, so it's
Are
almost.
you on that Pip-Boy shit again?
No.
Everyone has 3D printers.
Basically, okay.
Former Just Cause devs announced a new action RPG.
Okay.
Come out sometime next year.
Nice.
Bunch of Xbox One S bundles announced, like Minecraft and Shadow of War.
S or X
S.
when it comes out. Okay.
yeah, they're gonna
There's
try
like
to.
this cool Minecraft bundle. You can see it right there.
You just use cool and Minecraft in the same sentence.
Ooh.
Segment over.
It's fine.
Yeah, we're done.
Excuse me, but
I don't mind Minecraft. but
Minecraft is cool.
I could
they're,
never-
they're coming out with the play.
Get out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft.
The bundle looks cool though.
They're coming out with
Yeah.
the play together update where that's where.
Listen, I will
Windows 10
always appreciate Gary's mod more than Minecraft. That's
can
just
now-
me though. Gary's
yeah.
mod was great.
You can now pre-order the Xbox One X,
Okay.
and they also came out with an Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition. Don't know what the difference is.
It's probably a little more fancier and a lot more expensive.
Oh, I think it actually comes decaled with Project Scorpio.
Okay, so it's an Xbox with a decal. Let's move it along here. We have reached the bottom of video game news.
Fallout 4 VR, Doom VR, and Skyrim VR announced. They'll all be out by next spring.
See, that just is just like a little too immersive for me.
Or they'll all be
Oh,
out-
look, here I am in Skyrim. Blah blah blah. Giant. Bam.
They'll all be out within the final 2 months of 2016.
Next, they're going to announce that, we're including pain receptors, so you can actually feel when your character gets smashed into oblivion.
And finally, Mario plus
Yeah,
Rabbids
into
DLC
Oblivion.
Season
I got it.
Pass announced
God, I hate
for
Season
20 bucks.
Pass.
For $20, you get weapons, solo challenges, and new maps, and then story. And that's it for games.
All right, moving
Finally.
right along.
TV news.
So they announced. So a couple of weeks ago, they announced that David Letterman
I'm
was
afraid of
coming
ourselves.
to Netflix in a 6-episode special.
Like
According-
stand-up?
He's doing like an hour-long show. He's doing 6 episodes on Netflix.
Hold on. His name is Letterman. Why didn't he do a 26 episode special called The Alpha?
You suck!
Anyway, Variety's new report on TV salaries announced how much he's making per episode over the 6 episodes. Each of you take a guess on how much he's making.
$1 million per episode.
I think I read this. It's like 6 million.
An episode?
Yeah, it's like ridiculously high.
Mitch?
I think.
Well, if we're going with the million trend, I'm going to say he is making $2,476,000 per episode.
I'm gonna say $3.5 million per episode. I'll take
Mitch was the
middle of road.
closest. He is going at $12 million for the 6 episodes. So he'll be getting $2 million an episode.
Jeez.
So
But I went over, so.
you were still the closest. No
Yeah,
one,
just the
no
closest.
one went under. So
I went under. I
Oh,
think
It was
said
at
a
$1 million.
million.
This
Well,
isn't prices, right?
Yeah, well, it was never laid out. It's just the closest.
Yeah, it's just closest.
Oh, okay.
Mitch,
Congratulations,
what does he
you
get?
win nothing.
Oh, wow,
Stephen
thanks,
Colbert
guys.
is making more.
Here.
I'll at least say he's making more. How much is Stephen Colbert making per year? Taking over Letterman.
Wait, per year? Okay.
Per year.
So are you calling Letterman's 12 million for the 6 episodes 1 year?
Yeah, technically.
So Colbert is making more than 12 million
Yes.
per year.
I'll say 18.
I like 22 million.
30.
I'm going to say 16,000. That's it, just 16,000.
Well, Mitch doesn't count. So he's making 15 a year.
Ah, yes.
See, if I didn't stutter when I said 1,000 and said million, I would have gotten that one.
You would have.
Wait,
but you didn't.
Who won?
That was me, I think. I got a point. I said 18. You guys went 22.
On
and
the streaming service, Robert De Niro is coming up on Amazon. How much is he gonna get per episode on a new Amazon pilot?
What's the show about?
I don't know because it doesn't say.
How can I make an educational guess on this if I don't have all the information?
Yeah, this is like Robert De Niro plays with
guess
kittens.
how much
Algebra.
It's De Niro,
It's Robert De Niro on an Amazon show.
who is one of the biggest actors of all time.
I'll go 2.5 mil.
I think he's average.
Oh, he's under $1 million. I will say that.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So
De Niro's
just
that
you wait
cheap?
till I make
Under
my...
$1 million. For
Okay,
the
then De
Amazon
Niro's
pilot.
he's desperate for money.
Wait, just for the pilot, so it's one
Well,
episode.
it's project, so however long it's per episode. I just said pilot because I don't know if it's made past the pilot.
Wait, so this is per episode though?
Yeah,
It's under $1 million?
it's under $1 million.
$500,000, 500. I'm going.
Okay, Matt, what did you say?
700,000.
Mitch?
I'd like to say 826,000.
And I'll go 650,000.
Matt, what did you say again? 700?
7, yeah.
750.
I was gonna say 750.
Ooh.
Now,
Nice.
how much?
Point for me, even though we're not keeping score. Woo!
How much is the main cast of Game of Thrones bringing in? It's again under $1 million.
Like the entire cast.
The main cast. I don't know how many they.
I don't
feel is
watch
main
Game of
cast.
Thrones.
Wait,
so
as
I-
a group?
Like who you would consider probably like Amelia Clark, like those people.
I'm gonna say 690,000.
Nice.
I'm gonna say 3 million.
You said it was under $1 million.
I said it's under $1 million again.
I'm gonna say 3 million.
Neat.
Okay.
Nate Smart. I'm gonna go 900.
250, 250.
250.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 900.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 427,000 per episode.
Matt, what do you say?
690,000.
Mitch is the closest at 500,000 per episode.
Yes, I'll take that. No, that's my prize.
But it still does not beat what is the most watched drama in the world. NCIS.
NCIS.
So how much does Mark Harmon make per episode? It's under 750,000.
Enough to own CBS after 12
690,000.
Alec?
250.
Very nice. I'm gonna go with. You said it's under 750,000.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with a cool $500,000. 500,000.
Okay. Mitch?
I'm gonna say 162,000.
Alec is the close at 525.
Mark Harmon deserves all of that because he's been on that
That's
show the
22.
entire time.
That's 22 episodes a year. That is That's almost like 15 million. That's
ridiculous.
That's a lot of money.
Speaking of Mark Harmon, the scariest thing I've ever seen is they did like a whole TV movie special on Ted Bundy, and Mark Harmon was Ted Bundy, and it basically blew my mind because it's like, oh, I know him as Gibbs, he's Gibbs, and then he was this creepy serial killer
Yeah,
for an entire movie.
don't ruin Mark Harmon for
So
me.
if you do
They already ruined it himself. It came
so
out
if you do
with the movie.
500,000 times 22, which is the standard, it's
522,000. Oh.
550,000. That's a lot of
What
money.
season is NCIS on?
It will be in the 14th or 15th.
Yeah,
so bad.
I think it'll be season 14.
Chump change. I'll make that back in the next year.
It's just insane that Harmon, who's been there since the beginning, like Harmon
Harmon
Pauly
and-
Peretti.
The girl that Abby,
Yeah, Pauly
Paul
Peretti.
Peretti, and the guy that plays McGee.
Okay.
Was he there season 1?
Yeah,
He was
What's
labeled.
He's on probation on season 1. He's
Yeah,
the
what's
pro-
his what's the actor's name?
I don't remember. And then
Isn't
I
it
think
Sean-
it's,
Sean Murray.
Yeah, Sean
Tatiana
Murray.
Maslany.
and then Ducky, the guy that plays Ducky.
Yeah. Because we had Ziva leave and we had Michael Weatherly leave.
No,
By the
Just
way,
left to go to Bull.
yeah, is Bull actually still a thing? I have
It
don't
is.
know.
Okay.
It became the #1 new show of the year because of him.
Oh, okay.
David McCallum, I think.
Yeah,
is
that's
Ducky.
right. It's
Yeah,
Ducky.
and then whoever plays the assistant at me, he's been in and out, but he's
Yeah.
been there since.
No
like,
one cares about him.
He's technically now labeled as a main cast member.
That's because they got rid of everyone else.
Probably. Big Bang Theory people make 900,000 per episode.
Yeah.
Okay, they should make negative 900,000 per episode.
Ellen DeGeneres takes the crown at 50 million per year.
Oh my god.
Well, that just makes sense.
Next, Stranger Things is probably going to end with season 4. Which I can congratulate them for, because they're like, we're not going to drown this thing into the ground. They're like, we have an ending, and we're just going to go with it.
You know. Oh. yeah,
Season 5, they could totally do a season 5. It's just a 5th season of them doing a weekly D&D show. That's it. I think the rise of D&D at this point, I think they could do it.
That's a terrible idea. Sorry.
I like
don't
that
I don't like
idea,
that idea.
Mitchell.
Thanks, Nate. That makes me feel good.
But actually, speaking of shows that do like a really good job of getting endings, I think the original ending of Gravity Falls, which went 2 seasons, that like takes a lot of guts because Gravity Falls was one of the most popular shows on Disney. and to just be like, you know what, we're done. We have what we want to do with the story. It's a great story. We're just gonna end it. I think that if you can find people who can do that, it's a rare nowadays because people. I mean, we have just been talking about NCIS, which is like going on like 14 seasons.
But it's easy to make a procedural.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy as long as there's no, like, overarching. But even so, people are just like, I know it still gets good ratings, but it's just like, oh, okay, what are they going to do this time? It's kind of something I'm worried about with Rick and Morty, but I think that...
That's hilarious, and I can technically
6 seasons in a movie. 6 seasons in a movie.
That could go on forever, because they can just go to new planets. Technically, half of them are probably blown up by now.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think, like, the sci-fi cartoon, Rick and Morty reminds me so much of Futurama, which I adore. And that... I mean, we went to so many different networks, but it's an incredibly consistent show. I mean, they had nine seasons maybe?
7, I think.
7?
Yeah,
7 or 9.
No, they had 9 because I think they stopped after 7, but they kept going. Because there was a number of points in time where Futurama thought they were not going to get renewed. And I believe they had like a bunch of season finales and stuff. But then they got renewed, so they went on.
It might have been, I think it was off a year or two, and then when it moved to Comedy Central.
Yeah.
But there's not a season of that show that's just not fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think, or like Seinfeld, went, I think 9 seasons as well. And some of the most memorable episodes of that last season, like Festivus is the last season.
But then you have shows like Big Bang, which are really funny initially, and then just over time it's like...
When was it really funny?
I like shows that...
Big Bang was good for its first couple seasons, in my opinion.
Was it?
I think so.
We were also younger though at the time.
I think
too.
it's
that's
like being in an abusive relationship.
Wow,
Like-
that's brutal.
You don't realize.
Come on, man. The show isn't that bad. If it has an intro by the Bare Naked
It's-
Ladies,
You don't
it can't-
realize-
like-
You
It's
don't
funny for
realize-
a broadcast comedy.
You don't realize he's an asshole until like the first couple of months.
The Office is funny for a broadcast comedy.
Yeah,
That
broadcast
blows
is...
Big Bang Theory out of the water.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
not a
well,
lot of...
Yeah, you can't give it.
No one's
not
comparing The Office to Big
excuses.
Bang.
You
no.
can't compare, like, premium and streaming and broadcast. They're just on different levels.
I think you can. Like a good show is a good show. I don't care what it's on. It could be on Snapchat. If it's a good show, it's a good show.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Should we make the first Snapchat TV
It's
show?
already-
Technically,
there's
there
already
already
been,
is because
yeah.
MTV has a couple Snapchat shows.
Oh, well, who cares?
Well, MTV can also sod off until
They
they
brought
rename
back
themselves.
Fear Factor, and I think it's on Snapchat.
Whatever happened? It's the music television network. That's
Right.
literally what MTV is.
YouTube happened, man. What are
Yeah,
they gonna
well-
show? It's like
Then just rename it to RTV or something like reality TV. That's fine. I'm
loses the
tired of it.
brand.
I don't care. It's not a music television show. If it has music in the name, you have to show some
But
points of
VH1
music
doesn't
here.
play music
things
anymore either.
change, you know.
If ABC Family could rebrand, then why can't MTV?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they decided to. I mean, MTV has decided not to. I don't know.
But they both the capability of doing it though.
But the thing
exists.
is they rebranded because they didn't want to be called ABC Family anymore because they wanted to make more adult.
Wait, what is ABC Family now?
Freeform.
Freeform.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't
They
watch.
rebranded
watch
last year.
ABC Family.
Yeah, the Duffer Brothers in an interview with Vulture said, "We think it'll be 4 seasons and out. We can't keep making bad things happen to this town."
They think it'll be 4 seasons. I mean, it's funny that they're talking about ending it when there's
Like
only
right
been
now, as
one
of now,
season.
the 4th season is the final.
Yeah, there's
like they're
been, like-
the 3rd season they're writing right now.
There's
and
been,
they think-
like-
Meanwhile, as they said that statement, the writers of Twin Peaks have been shown laughing
Oh.
their heads off.
Twin Peaks is probably done too. After
Okay,
David
that
Lynch
makes
said he's
sense.
probably not doing anymore. Thank God.
Didn't Defenders come out?
Yeah,
It did.
Defenders came out.
It
I watched the
did.
first
I need to watch
episode.
that.
It was lukewarm.
Yeah.
I heard it starts off very slowly
Yes.
They don't
because
meet.
they
I
need
heard they
to.
don't meet until like the 4th episode.
Well, I was gonna say I heard they need to give a lot of reason for them to actually all get together.
Well, that makes
And that's
sense
why it
because
starts slow.
again, I have only seen Daredevil. I'm frantically trying to catch up on Just
But
Jones.
the fact that it's only 8 episodes and it takes them almost halfway through the season to meet is a little.
That just means they're probably planning on having a season 2.
But
'cause
it's
season
technically
1 will
labeled
wind
as a
up so
miniseries,
much.
so I don't know.
I still think they'd continue.
Probably.
If I remember correctly,
I think
Daredevil
everything-
also started off slow.
I think
Yeah.
they probably figured
Everything, all those Marvel Netflix shows, in my opinion,
They
have
also
started
should
off
not be
slow.
13 episodes. They should not.
No.
They should
Well,
be
okay.
10.
Jessica Jones is okay with being 13.
They should
Daredevil.
all be 10.
David Tennant.
Yeah.
Next
They
second.
should all
But-
be 10.
But Luke Cage was okay. But Iron Fist, that could have been 5
Yeah,
episodes.
Iron Fist could have been a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I'm fine with shorter seasons because then they're not writing a bunch of random stuff. Shorter seasons.
Yeah, I think people's time is so much more stretched. Like, there's so many different options. You can
There
watch
is
TV,
over
you can watch
500
streaming.
scripted television shows out
Yeah,
now.
and you can just watch YouTube videos all night. Like there's so
That
many
too.
video
That's what
games.
Scott does all the time. He doesn't watch
like
TV.
30 years ago, video games weren't even that. You know,
plus video games.
an optional.
Mitch, this will
form
be
of
interesting. I
entertainment.
told you earlier, but Dirk Gently is coming back October 14th to the BBC. It was a great show. First season's on Hulu. If you like sci-fi, time travel, it's really weird. It stars Elijah Wood.
Yeah, the show's really cool because like it starts off with having all these different points, and it shows you basically what it's gonna end up like, but you have no idea how all these points.
It basically shows you the ending before it happens.
Yeah.
It's basically one of those shows that like show you the ending, but it's not one like you know how like sometimes it'll be like 3 days earlier.
You might have wondered how I got myself into this situation.
But it'll be like one of those things where they show you the final 30 seconds, and it'll be like 3 days earlier, but they don't show you or they don't tell you.
Dirk Gently thought was cool because it's got all
It
these
was only
points.
8 episodes too,
Yeah.
which is great.
But it's cool because they'll like give you all these points of the episodes, and then like the last 2 episodes, everything just starts making sense and clicking. It's like
Yeah, the
whoa!
final 2 episodes are like, whoa. It's basically great. It's only 8 episodes and it's on Hulu.
Speaking of which, I'm really excited for another show that's coming up. Actually, end of the week. They're going to have the new Death Note up on August 25th, which I'm really excited to see. Has William Dafoe as the Shinigami, also known as Ryuk. So I'm super, super excited to see how he's going to do that after seeing him do the Green Goblin way back
Where
when.
is this?
This is going to be on Netflix.
A movie or a show?
No, it's a 2-hour movie.
It's a 2-hour movie.
That's all I have for TV.
Yeah. So moving on to like movies and stuff, I figured we could talk about Moviepass.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Moviepass is a new service. I think it's head up by one of the co-founders.
They just dropped the price.
Yeah, it's head up by one of the co-founders of Netflix, and it was $30, I believe. Now it's $9.95, and basically you can watch. They call it the unlimited plan. It's actually
It was originally 45.
yeah, was it?
It was originally 45.
But this newest, they dropped it to 30.
to $9.99.
Well,
$9.95.
it was 30 right before this. They must have dropped it again.
Okay. It says standard prices for the original service were as high as 45. I don't know. There probably was different tiers.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably. But basically, their idea of unlimited is one movie per day, and you can't repeat movies.
That's not unlimited. I
No.
want to watch movies
That's right.
all day.
I mean, with how many movies are out, that's like 10 a month. But I mean, $9.95.
$9.95 is
that's
really
cheaper
good.
than like an actual ticket for most places.
Yeah.
Like it's worth it if you just go once. So I signed up like the first day that you could. Basically, it was like front page of Reddit, and there was a bunch of articles about it. It was in Forbes. It got the old Reddit hug of death, and their servers crashed because of all the traffic.
Oh.
Like, what do you you're saying $10 for unlimited movies, and you don't expect?
And then you put it on
everyone to flock
Reddit.
to it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
end of your service.
The system launched in 2010 with AMC being an original partner.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see. Yeah, one movie. According to Bloomberg, it basically is to try and they're gonna try and curb the viewing habits, kind of like what Netflix does.
Yeah. Theater sales are down.
AMC is consulting its attorneys. AMC sees them losing money because the average ticket is $9.33, and it sees that it'll be an unsubstantial business model.
Right. Yeah. I also see like it seems too good to be true. I think either they're gonna raise it as soon as they can. They guaranteed this pricing for the next 12 months. So I'll at least. I mean, I signed up the first day. My card's in the mail, but they just sent me an email today saying they're backed up. So it said the first couple weeks of September, they send you this card, and I don't know. It's buggy. It's whatever, but we'll see how it goes. Theaters don't make money on the tickets.
It's all concessions.
It's all the
It's all
concessions
concessions,
because
yeah.
the tickets are mostly going to the studios. So I don't see why they would even care because theaters just need more foot traffic, and I guess this is.
That should generate more foot
It
traffic.
should, yeah.
should.
And especially
If you get people going to movies that much more often, they're going to be buying more concessions. They're going to be.
and especially if you don't have to pay admission, then you're more apt to be like, oh well, I have Moviepass, I didn't even have to pay, so I'm fine paying $7 for popcorn. You like justify it
Yeah.
more in your head.
So this could go on TV and movie, but they announced the actor that played Starkiller via Polygon during a Twitch stream, Sam Witwer, who played Starkiller in the Forced Unleashed games, They were in talks to have him become canon.
No, they're gonna try to make Starkiller canon.
They were going
It's interesting.
to.
I heard that fell through.
He was originally supposed to be in the Rebels TV show, but after.
I don't want him in the Rebel show.
But after.
What, you don't want the guy who literally murders people to be in Rebels?
But after the events of The Unforced 2, they realized he was just too powerful, and so they scrapped it.
I'd want it, but Rebels, isn't it still a Disney XD show?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's kids watching
He
that.
was supposed to be like one of those Inquisitors.
Oh, they wanted to make him into an
They
Inquisitor.
basically were going to
I
make him into an
guarantee if they
Inquisitor.
did that, they would have to dumb him down. They'd turn down his power. They'd
Yeah.
take away all the murdery, stabby-killy things for the children.
I mean, Force
And it would
Unleashed
ruin
2
him.
was still such a disappointment compared to the original game. Mostly because clones. Never, ever do anything with clones. Ever. If you
But I
want,
thought it
you
was an
whatever you
interesting
have to
thing that they
succeed.
were going to consider him being part of the expanded universe.
It could have been cool. I just...
Well, it's like they could make Thrawn fit, because Thrawn was a really, really good character, really fleshed out, and had some really interesting tendencies. So they made Thrawn fit really well, I thought. So
I'm gonna be so sad when Rebels is over.
yeah.
So according to the Hollywood Reporter, there is an Obi-Wan film in production.
And who is playing Obi-Wan?
Nothing else is being said. So
Okay, it's
other
either...
than Billy Elliot director Stephen Daldry is in early talks to helm the firm.
And I swear to God, if it's not Ewan McGregor, then that movie will
It's
fail.
gonna tank.
It will tank. If it is Ewan McGregor, I'm stupid excited.
Yeah.
Last year, according to IGN, he has expressed interest in filming standalone Obi-Wan movies.
Who, Ewan McGregor?
Probably being part
Good.
of it.
Then he better be a part of it, because they can't get another Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor is probably the best part that came out of the Star Wars prequel movies.
I
think it'd
mean,
be
aside
cool.
from Jar Jar Binks.
Well, I mean,
Aside from Darth
there's
Maul.
no arguing with perfection. I mean,
I think it could be cool.
have Obi-Wan kill Jar Jar.
Misa gonna avenge you, Annie.
Two more things for movies. Deadline announced yesterday that they are making a Joker standalone film.
With who is the Joker?
That is possibly not with
Not Larragetto?
no.
No, not Larry
What's the one that
He
played
sucks.
Jared Leto? Supposedly it's not going to be with him.
Good, because he was off.
Is it the corpse of Heath Ledger?
Oh my god.
So
it's
we can have
supposedly-
Bernie
That's the magic trick.
Or we'll just do not hologram, CGI. Like if
You
we
want to
can-
see a pencil?
So basically,
we can get Grand Moff Tarkin, we can get.
Yeah,
Heath
that's
Ledger.
true.
so supposedly it's going to be unconnected to the normal DC universe, whatever
Thank
that
God.
is. It's going to be produced by Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not going to be dark, grimdark, the grimdark future, like the
And
universe? Good.
The Hangover's Todd Phillips is currently in talks to direct it.
Okay, then.
Deadline states that WB's intention is to make a grounded, hard-boiled crime film that doesn't feel like a DC film.
So the Dark Knight, but with the Joker.
It's supposed to be an origin story, I guess.
Oh, yes, because we haven't done that before.
It's set in the 80s in the grim streets of Gotham. Dun dun dun.
Cool.
Next, THR, so the Hollywood Reporter, is reporting that Comcast and Amazon are joining Apple to develop a delivery system for premium videos on demand that could be available for home viewing 30 days after they debut in the theater.
Well, since Comcast is getting involved, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, literally.
Supposedly,
The
the new
service will be
premium
terrible.
service will be introduced in the first 2 months of 2018, with THR saying you could pay $30 to rent a movie. But initial reports saying movies would be $50 after 17 days after initial release.
Well, I can just go to the theater though too, right?
Yeah,
Moviepass.
it's basically like their version of a Moviepass.
What kind of archaic universe do you live in? One does not go to the theater anymore.
That's interesting that Moviepass is coming out with this service and now everyone's just gonna try and
Well, basically, what
it's a
it
great
is
time to be a consumer.
the future is streaming service.
Future is now.
Well, that's why people have been getting, really pissed about people jailbreaking their Fire Sticks, because they've been getting, all the content for free, months before, because they download it. They have it ready to go in the service. And that's the problem when people jailbreak stuff, is they're getting access to it when it's not even going to be released to the public, so...
Sports ball.
So we talk about sports ball now?
So on our sports section.
Sports ball.
In a recap of the English Premier League, Watford beat Bournemouth 2-0. So Watford picks up its first win of the season.
Yes, those are words.
Man United killed Swansea again, 4-0.
I know those ones.
As the guy who isn't a part of soccer at all.
It's short for Manchester.
Yes.
Hey.
Sports.
Southampton beat West Ham United 3-2. And Chicharito
Ham
scored
is short for Hampton.
Southampton. It's on the southern coast of...
But what about West Ham? Is it also West Hampton?
That's, I think, London. West London.
I don't like the sports ball thing anymore.
They are codenamed the Hammers.
Never would have guessed.
But Javier Hernandez scores in 2 goals.
Wait, you scored 2 goals?
Are you
for your
related?
quinceañera?
Yeah. Leicester scores 2 goals to beat newcomers Brighton, Hove, and Albion.
Okay, yes, those are parts of England.
Real quick,
You're the only one
real
that
quick,
know-
did you say Albion?
Yeah.
Like
Albion.
the Fable universe
It's
setting?
spelled Albion.
Like I'll be in New York.
Oh man,
Yeah.
there's gonna be like wizards and shit in there.
Yeah.
Though?
I mean, they're called the Seagulls. I mean, look at its crest.
Ah,
The
yes.
Seagulls.
Nothing is
Yeah.
more wizardry
Cool.
than
The
seagulls.
seagull.
Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 1-0. West Brom beat Burnley 1-0. And Stoke beat Arsenal because Arsenal sucks 1-0.
Wait, was Stoke like super stoked about winning?
Oh God. We will stay on
Shut the
soccer
hell
real
up,
quick.
Sands.
What is the Wayne Rooney announcement?
Oh, that comes on Monday. I'm just going in order.
Right, but isn't he retiring from
No.
England?
No, maybe.
That's what I thought I saw somewhere.
So I'll look at that in just a second. I haven't heard anything. But newcomers Huddersfield Town beat newcomers Newcastle United 1-0. Huddersfield Town has won its first 2 games to get a 6 out of 6 points. No one thought this was possible. So
So is this
I don't know.
potentially this year's Leicester City?
No, because they just got promoted from the 2nd division. So winning 2 out of 2 means possible survival. Because the bottom 3 teams get relegated to the 2nd division. And then Chelsea beat Tottenham 2-1, and Tottenham's winless streak at Wembley Stadium continues.
Chelsea, friend of the show.
I can see her just mercilessly like using just words beating down entire teams.
Yeah.
And then
best
on
you
Monday, after 30 minutes, I believe, newcomer, or 44 minutes, Kyle Walker gets a red card. So Everton then goes up a man.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I have lack of knowledge of sports ball, does a red card mean that
You were kicked out of the game.
Oh, see, I thought it was like a limited edition rare card that you get, and they could sell at, like local hobby shops.
Oh.
It's like
Yes,
a
actually-
holographic Charizard.
Yeah, it's actually
Okay.
got 4,000 attack points and 4,000 defense points in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So basically, first it was 0-0. Then Wayne Rooney scored.
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney scored for his second goal in 2
Wayne
games since
Rooney.
coming back to his childhood club of Everton. And he became the 2nd player in Premier League history. It's been around for 25 years. He becomes only the 2nd player to score 200 Premier League goals
Wow.
after Alan Shearer.
There was a cool photo of Rooney with like they showed a goal from last year maybe or a couple years ago, whenever it was, and they showed post-goal photo celebration of the one he just scored.
Mm-hmm.
And they zoomed in on the stands, and there are the same exact 4 people in the exact same place
Really?
wearing like
Oh,
the
they're probably
exact
season-
same thing.
They're probably season ticket. They
Yeah.
have to be season ticket holders. But yeah.
But it's almost an identical picture
That's
with
cool.
all of those
I didn't
fans.
see
It
that.
was awesome.
Kyle Walker, who was brought over from Tottenham for a cheap £50 million.
Oh yeah, it's so cheap.
We got a red
You
card.
can get one PS4 Pro with an engraving on it for that much money.
Yes.
Are you using that paper right now, Rich?
No.
I'm just getting some noise when you like hold
Oh.
it like. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
And then I threw it on the ground.
Then in the 82nd minute, Raheem Sterling draws it up and saves a point for Man City.
Hooray!
They played very well with 10 men down, or down a man. With
I was
only
going
10
to say,
men.
if they were 10 men down, that would have been really impressive. Playing with one guy and a goalie.
Yeah, sports ball, go, woo!
Zlatan could do it. He could play 1v11.
You know who else could play 1v11? Lucio. Lucio Ball is best sports ball.
Guys, I know this one. This is the game in Overwatch. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And now you've killed the reference.
Any more footy updates?
Yeah, so Champions League playoffs, final round. Celtic beat FC Astana 8-4 on aggregate.
Wow.
8-4 on aggregate. NK Marbar beat Hapoel Bur 1-0, 2-2 on aggregate. Enpobar wins on away goals. Sevilla FC beat Istanbul
Constantinople.
Baskiar.
I hate myself.
They tied 2-2,
I hate myself
but
too.
I hate you
Sevilla
as well.
wins
Ouch.
2-0. Napoli beat Nice 2-0 to win 4-0 on aggregate. And Olympiacos beat Raqqa 1-0 to win 3-1 on aggregate. Then today, Liverpool beat Hoffenheim 4-2 to win 6-3 on aggregate. They do a home and home. That's why. Apoel Naskio drew against Slavia Prague 0-0 but won 2-0 on aggregate. FK Karabag lost to FC Copenhagen 2-1 but won on away goals.
You know, Rich, I have to interject for a moment and say
Yes.
I'm really impressed at how good you are at pronouncing these names. Because if I was looking at this, I would be awful.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing all of these right. I'm just...
And now you've ruined my illusion, Rich, and you've just shattered that.
Reject the vote of confidence.
That's fine.
I withdraw my vote of confidence.
Sporting CP won 5-1 against FC SB. Leg 1 must have been 0-0. And CSK Moscow beat Young Boys 2-0 to win 3-0 on aggregate. And tomorrow will be the Champions League draw for the group stages.
Rich fact of the week. Rich fact of the week. Which fact of the week? Which fact of the week? Which fact of the week? It's the rich fact of the week.
This week's rich fact is that Richard has 2 feet, but one of those legs is 6 inches longer than the other. Take a guess which.
This has been your Rich Fact of the Week.
Which fact of the week?
The Rich Fact of the Week. That's totally going to be a thing now.
The O. Richard Factor on Fox News.
Let's not sully our podcast with that bit, man, eh?
How many more footy scores?
I don't want the scores. So now the qualifying rounds are over for the Champions League, and the 32 teams for this season's Champions League group stage will begin after today's draws. They will be announced at 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, August 24th.
So they don't know the matchups yet?
No. So basically what it is it's 4 groups, or it's 8 groups of 4, drawn via the pots. There's 4 pots. I don't know exactly how it works. I think they just take one from each and then they just keep going on.
Any particular team to look out for right now?
You're our soccer expert.
Any personal favorite?
Or
You are our
football.
resident footy
Personal
expert.
favorite. I think Real Madrid is going to run away with it. They are very good this year.
Aren't they usually always really good?
They're always good, but they just are killing it. They pummeled Barcelona in both games.
Barcelona.
Yes. I'm trying to look for.
That's how they say it over there.
I'm trying to look
Allegedly.
for.
I've never been there.
It'll be easier to tell what teams have a chance after the group stage, or after the groups are decided.
Right.
Basically, what it is it's just a home and home with each team. So each team does 6 games, and the top 2 move on to the knockout round.
Neat.
Okay.
And then the 3rd place, I think, moves on to the Europa League, which is another European competition, that has 64 teams in it.
So many leagues. So
Sports
many teams.
ball!
These are not leagues; these are just tournaments.
Right, but
During the season.
you don't have anything like that in American sports.
No, and that's why it's amazing. And then on top of that, there's also domestic cups too. So you have the FA Cup in England, the English League Cup. So honestly, if you're one of the top teams, you could easily play 60 games a season. if you go all the way in.
All of those pale in comparison to Lord Stanley's Cup, but we'll save that for another day.
It's very possible. We could do a top championship.
Cup power rankings?
We could do a cup power.
Do we do a cup draft?
Oh God.
That's all I have for the soccer corner.
I would
All
choose
right.
the Tupperware cup. It's made of like plastic Tupperware material.
So, cupperware?
Yeah, basically. That's the cup I choose, though.
All right, moving on to American football. I can't really just call it football because we just actually talked about football. Moving on to American football, we here in Buffalo, New York have been losing our minds for the past week after it was learned that hopefully future Hall of Famer Anquan Boldin retired after 2 weeks with the team. He cited his reasons as he wanted to do more to help racial tensions and improve society as leaving.
Humanitarian efforts.
Yeah, very much humanitarian
This is
efforts.
tragic news for the Bills because they lose their first and only player ever named Anquan.
And also...
A more important note, I want to throw this out. Has tanking finally arrived in the NFL?
The one thing I will say about tanking in the NFL...
Because it's prevalent in the NHL, let's be honest.
Yeah, before we talk about tanking in the NFL, quick...
NBA doesn't count because there's no such thing as the draft.
There is a draft in the NBA.
There is a draft, but... Yeah.
The order doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The order
that's
doesn't
true,
matter
yeah.
because they all trade them after a year. They're all like high school players anyway. Because they play like 6 months of college basketball and then they get drafted.
Quick note for our viewers who might not watch hockey. The big thing was tanking was big 2 years ago. This one might have been, if you're from Buffalo, when the Sabres intentionally were really, really bad to get a chance to draft McDavid or Eichel. And of course, we did not get a chance to draft McDavid. We did get Jack Eichel, who is awesome. But instead, McDavid went to the Oilers, who sucked for the previous 10 years and literally needed the next reincarnation of Wayne Gretzky to be any good in hockey. No, I won't take that back, Edmonton. Screw you. Screw your team. Screw your ownership. You're awful, and you didn't deserve that.
I like McDavid. I like the Oilers.
Screw their ownership, though. I don't mind their fans. The ownership bugs the hell out of me, and they're not getting better.
Well, yeah, because Peter Chiarelli's their GM.
Yeah, it just bugs me that it literally takes the greatest hockey player reincarnated to go play for the Oilers. So they could be that. You know what, Mitch? I'm sorry, I'm taking over your rant. This is going to be my Oilers.
Let's keep it to one rant a week. Okay.
Yeah, you're already done one today, Alec.
Okay.
He's
Well,
almost
I'll hold
done
out
two.
then.
He's done
This
like
is like-
a rant and a mini rant.
This is like the third, I think.
Okay, well, I won't rant then.
So do we want to
that.
tie this back to NFL tanking then?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, did you guys see this Onion article about the Buffalo Bills?
Oh, yes, the 8-year-old is becoming
diehard 8-year-old Buffalo Bills fan showing early signs of masochism.
Shout out to West Seneca,
West
New
Seneca,
York.
New York, yeah.
We made it.
We finally did it.
to a shitty Onion article. Yeah.
Hey, there is truly no good.
Tanking in the
But,
NFL.
tanking in the NFL will always be dependent on the following things.
It depends on the draft
Yeah.
class mainly.
Yeah.
And the other thing where tanking in hockey has tanking in the NFL beat is you look at top draft picks in the NHL. You
And they
compare
pan out
that it's almost a guaranteed home run if you pick at the top of the NHL draft every year. You're almost guaranteed at least a starting player for your franchise.
Because usually in the NHL, as I find, there's a lot less. You have to be a lot better. There's more variety. You can have a lot more busts in the first round, a lot more gems in later rounds. But especially because the kids that are getting taken in the NHL draft are 18 compared to the 21 and 22-year-olds mostly in the NFL draft where they're more
I
developed.
still think you have more first round busts in the NFL. You have more busts period in football in my opinion.
Well, I think hockey, it's not as consequential if something busts in the first round because I don't think there's as many disastrous implications, especially because a lot of the players you pick during there do well in other leagues.
Yeah, exactly. Hockey has
Yeah.
a development league.
Exactly.
Right now, the NFL's development league is college, which is a joke, and college players should be paid money.
And I think the thing in hockey is if you're recognizing that someone at 17 and 18 is like stupidly good at the sport to warrant that pick, then chances are they're going to keep that natural talent and improve upon it during their last part of their developmental years from 18 to 20 and only get better. The NFL, I feel, some of these guys, sure, they're 22 and they're like fully developed and mature and ready to go and have their weight all picked out for this. But sometimes I feel the other thing that they don't teach you is how the NFL is such a different game. You're going in against guys who just have that much more experience and that many more systems and defenses. So I really feel like that's in the NFL. Sure, you can still tank, and there's still a lot of good with like the draft classes. But even so, you never know.
You need to be more selective.
Yeah.
There's a higher probability of your top round pick in the NFL not panning out. I think it takes a lot more. It's a lot more investment to tank in the NFL.
Yeah, and if you miss that first round pick in the NFL, it's so much worse for your team.
Yeah.
In hockey, you can miss on your first round pick. The Sabres did recently with Mikhail Grigorenko. And again, you were able to do stuff like you can trade those and you can change those players because they're still young enough where they still have some value.
Look at the return we got for Sammy Watkins. I'm not saying he was a bust at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that we basically spent 2 total first round picks to get him, one, the pick that actually selected him, the other first round pick we used to trade up. We shipped him out for the return of EJ Gaines and a Rams second.
Yeah.
So we just turned 2 first round picks into, I think, I don't remember the round Gaines was selected.
I think he was a 5th round pick.
Yeah, I do.
In the same draft, yeah.
But we turned basically 2 first round picks for a late round pick and a second round pick from the Rams, which the second round pick basically has first round potential because of how bad I'm hoping LA is going to be.
They're going to be better, but I don't think they're going to be great. Their offense has potential.
Well, it all depends.
Has 2 former Buffalo Bill wide receivers.
Well, it all depends on Goff.
Goff could either be great or he could. Mm-hmm. The question I have is, if Goff sucks, what do they do?
Then they draft
tank.
Yeah.
Do they draft another quarterback already?
If Goff sucks, you tank.
The problem is that
this is allegedly a very good year for QBs in high rounds. So
now relating this,
is there like 3 of them?
You have your Josh Rosen,
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Is he Darnold's the UCLA kid, right?
Darcy, I believe so.
And I think Josh Rosen's the USC. You have Josh Allen from FBS, whatever. I think Wyoming, I want to say.
I believe so.
Lamar Jackson out of Louisville could potentially be coming out, which I like.
I didn't realize there was
this
many quarterbacks.
The Oklahoma kid is at Baker Mayfield, I want to say.
No, granted, they still have to play the entire season. I'm sure some will rise and some will fall based on what's going to happen, because that's what happens with QBs every year. But kind of to wrap this all up, I mean, the Bills are in an interesting spot this year where I was okay with them going into the season and really being on anywhere between 4-12 and like 10-6. I could have seen anything. Now, I think with the trades and with everything that's going down, and who knows if Cordy Glenn's going to be helpful, I was not impressed by the O-line. I heard about that.
So did Gaines, and so did another injured guy who I don't remember.
So, I mean, if McDermott's defense is better, the team will be a lot better just because Rex Ryan's defense last year couldn't stop anything. But, again, if the Bills end up on the lower side of the spectrum, that's fine with me because I'd like to see them get... I don't want to really see them tank, but at the same point, if someone's offering, like a playoff contender team is offering like a first and a third for McCoy, you gotta listen to that. Because
if somebody offers even just a first for McCoy, you take that.
Yeah.
He's a 29-year-old running back who is still aging, granted still a top 4 running back in the league behind, I would say, Bell, David Johnson, and Zeke Elliott. I think he's up there. But...
And unlike Elliott, he doesn't beat women, though he does have some weird parties with them, apparently.
A first-round pick for a running back, you don't pass that up.
So honestly, if that came up, I don't want to see them trade away Tyrod just for the sake of, I mean, if someone offers a first for Tyrod, then you do it, obviously. But I mean, like, that's gonna put the nose too much on it. I don't even think if the Bills...
I'm fine with Peterman time.
Yeah.
I'm a Peter maniac. I want to see him play. I'm on the Peterman hype train.
I'm just fine if they decide to trade away, as long as they don't go with the thing of, I feel like the Sabres and the Oilers got into a race on how bad can we make our team at the trade deadline. As long as the Bills don't think they can actually compete with the Jets or the Browns, then I'm fine with whatever.
The problem is that the NFL trade dedeadline is basically irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
No, it is. The Jets are going to be so ridiculously bad, especially if Hackenberg is their guy.
Up until last year, I forgot that there was a trade deadline in the NFL.
Well, not much happens.
I think Cleveland arguably is more talented than us.
Oh, it all depends on the quarterback.
Really? You think so?
I think they might be.
I think they have the
how you said, the point you made about McDermott looking so far, I know it's only preseason, it looks like the defense is already better than last year. That alone makes the team better.
Penalties.
And I don't think... I don't necessarily want to say it's addition by subtraction with the Darby and Sammy deals. But you look at our receiver core alone, You compare this year's conglomerate of your Jordan Matthews, rookie Zay Jones, Andre Holmes, Rod Streeter if he's healthy, your wild card guys like your Riley or your Da'Keil Shorts, and you compare that last year to, okay, we had banged up Watkins, we had Robert Woods, and I can't even think of other people right now.
Marquis Goodwin when he wasn't hurt.
Goodwin, Glassbones
What
Goodwin.
happened to him?
He's San
in
Francisco.
San Francisco.
Goodwin, your Walter Powell, your Brandon Tate, who are still can make the team. I think the receiver group this year is already better. I know we lost Watkins, but
Well, a lot of rumors.
If it's not better, then it's at least similar.
Well, a lot of rumors are that Dorsett's going to be out in Philly. I'm sorry, not Philadelphia, Indianapolis. So
Derek Dorsett.
I thought it was Phil. I could be mistaken.
Derek's a different player.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Philip
2 of them, so I didn't know which one.
Vincent Jackson's still free agent.
Yeah.
Eddie Roy is still a free agent.
Vincent Jackson's a free agent.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if the Bills had to make another play for a wide receiver,
they can do it.
But the important thing, I want McDermott. I understand their whole thing is, no, we're still trying to win. We're still doing the best we can to win. I'm fine with that. I'm actually okay if they're doing a little bit of exaggeration to the fan base. Because listen, they're on 5-year contracts. They got to do what they think is going to make the team best in the long run.
They're finally putting their stamp on the team.
Yeah.
There's nothing left from previous regimes. Ownership got the fresh start that they wanted. And I have confidence right now in Bean and McDermott to get it done.
I will say the last time we gave 5-year contracts, they were gone after 2 years. So.
Old takes exposed. If you're still around in Twitter from a couple years from now and find this podcast, please feel free. If anything we said is incorrect here, to tag us.
If our listeners haven't noticed, Nate and Mitch are very hardcore football fans. And they are so enthralled and just enamored by this conversation that they've been left speechless.
Yeah, I love a good foot on the balls.
Yeah, seriously. You know what I love more, though, than the balls on the foots is the good old APL, or the American Pickleball League. For those who don't know...
Pickleball is a wonderful sport.
Yeah, the Buffalo Boilers are a professional team here in Buffalo.
Wait, we have a pickleball team?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
The Buffalo Boilers. We just signed Donnie Smithens. Okay, he's a great backup. I'm really looking forward to seeing him on the field. That's all I have for sports ball.
He's uncanny.
Yeah, I'm super excited
He's
to
an
see
X-Man?
Donnie just hit those balls of pickles over the nets.
All right, then. Wow. So just to kind of wrap it up, we'll see about Bill's season.
Yeah, real quick,
I'm Pickleball Rick!
Pickleball Rick!
I'm almost positive nobody else other than me is kind of a basketball fan.
I was very surprised about that trade, though.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics trade for noted flat earther Kyrie Irving from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I mean, I just
They got a first-round pick for him.
The Nets first-round pick.
Cleveland got a haul
They did.
in terms of getting Thomas in return. They get Crowder in return. They got somebody else whose name I can't pronounce because I'm not
And
that
they got
big of a basketball
2018
fan.
first-round pick.
And they got Boston's.
No, it's the
first round-
Nets.
Well,
It's
Boston had possession of
the
the
Nets.
The Nets first round.
But it's important to note that it is the Nets because Boston still has their original.
You look at it, Cleveland kind of got the. I think it can go both ways because Cleveland got more stuff and potentially better stuff, but Boston got their centerpiece, and I almost guarantee he'll stay there for a while.
Well, I think the big thing about Cleveland, this is a big fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
I think all of the guys Cleveland got are last year of their contract.
But it's
and
nice.
LeBron is also allegedly leaving.
Well, it's nice to see Cleveland take a couple steps to be unlike last time where they kind of were like, oh, LeBron left, well, we're going to do whatever, and then they immediately proceeded to be bad again. I think it's nice to see them trying to be a little more proactive and be like, okay, we can do really well this year, but let's also build for
that
everything
first round
coming up.
pick's a building.
Still not really sure if anyone competes with Golden State, though.
And it's funny you mentioned Golden State because there were reports out there that Cleveland was trying to do a 1-for-1 Kyrie Irving to Golden State for Klay Thompson.
Oh, really?
So, breaking news, Dodgers, Rich Hill lost a no-hitter in the bottom of the 10th.
He
on a walk-off home run from the Pirates' second baseman, Josh Harrison.
Oh, my gosh.
He lost a no-hitter. But then, in the bottom, I don't know if before that, he had a error on the third baseman.
So that killed the perfect game.
So that killed a perfect game. They lost 1-0.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about no support.
America's pastime.
I have Rich Hill on my team.
All right, and speaking of that, we'll go with a quote from Jeopardy Sports, which the answer to the question would be, this MLB team got 9 no-hit innings and still lost the game. They're already in playoff form. And the answer, of course, is who are the Los Angeles Dodgers? So,
Dick Picks of the Week. Dick Picks of the Week.
Who wants to start?
Not I.
Not okay.
Okay, I'll go first then.
Okay, Mitch.
My dick pick of the week is Bounty paper towels. Had a real bad spill in the kitchen today. Got some Bounty out there, cleaned it right up, saved my day. Bounty paper towels, my dick pick of the
Hi,
week.
Vince here for paper towels.
Is that the quicker picker upper?
Yeah.
Bounty.
No copyright infringement.
Mine would have to be the brand new album, Science Fiction. It is spectacular. I'm a big brand new fan. Deja Entendu will always be my favorite album. But I think it took a couple days, couple hours to grow on me. I listened to it 5 or 6 times. What's up, Mitch?
You know what's so spectacular?
What?
You.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
I've listened to it maybe 5 or 6 times, and it's incredibly consistent. I think Deja Entendu is my favorite. Then Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me is another one of their most popular ones. And to me, the first half of the album is just perfection, but then it really falls apart. But this album, it's 12 tracks. It's an hour long. So they're all like 5-minute tracks. They're all a little bit longer, but it's a really consistent album. Listen all the way through. The production is fantastic if you listen to it in headphones. I think that because at the first listen I have a little Bluetooth speaker that's basically just reduces everything to mono. And I was listening to it in my car, but it just doesn't do it justice. It's just a gorgeous sounding album. And more pertinent to this podcast in general, there's a song, I think it's track 7, called Out of Mana. And it's a video game themed song. I guess Jesse Lacey, the lead singer, he was really into WoW for a while. But it's a very good track.
And somehow he climbed out of WoW into having a life as a musician.
Yeah. I think it was when you're on the...
Some people never make that step.
When you're on the road all the time, I guess you gotta find things to do.
That's true. So I've got 2 dick pics of the week for me this week. The first one is shorts. Shorts are comfy and easy to wear. Also great when you want to ambush someone in the middle of a meadow with a rat and a snake. So shorts, they're comfy and easy to wear. And secondly, I'm going to say that I've got a music pick of the week as well. If you haven't picked it up already, take a look at the Gorillaz album Humans. Came out back in April. Supremely good album. Damon Albarn, having been on hiatus from the Gorillaz project for about 7 years prior to this release, really has some great stuff on it. It's got a lot of great people who collaborated with him, including Vince Staples and Popcan, I believe. So definitely check out the album. I recommend a bunch of different songs, including Strobe Light, The Apprentice, and Let Me Out is a really, really good one as well. So definitely check those out.
All right, I have 2 quick dick pics of the week.
Is that allowed? Quick vote.
I already did it.
Yeah, he just did it.
Next week, 1.
Oh, you did.
I'm a mavericky maverick.
We're setting a bad precedent.
My first
dicks?
one, real quick, is going to be
good
more
enough
of
for
like
George
a...
Washington.
Hey, my first
reset.
one... So yeah, I'm going to have 2 quick dick pics of the week. Again, the first one, not even a pick, more of like a local restaurant product placement. It's going to be Pearl Street Grill and Brewery. That's technically their full name.
Are they paying you?
Do we get a sponsor?
I got food from them. I mean, if they want to sponsor us, it's fine with me.
That'd be great.
But no, I was there last night. Excellent service, excellent beverage selection, excellent food. And you have the popcorn machine there in Pearl Street. And my actual pick will be another musical dick pick of the week. The band Ripe. They're a funk band out of Boston. I just discovered them thanks to a Spotify radio playlist. They have a song called Goon Squad, which got me hooked. It's just stupidly good vocals and awesome guitar playing, and it's very good. And they do a cover of Ellie Goulding's On My Mind. It's another great one. So if you got the funk and you're feeling the funk, look up the band Ripe, because They're pretty cool.
Okay, my pick of the week is
Say it correctly, Rich.
my dick pick of the week.
All right.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Is a television show on TBS called People of Earth. It is a half-hour comedy created by David Jenkins. I believe this is his first show.
Old man Jenkins and his jalopy.
It has executive producers of The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, just a whole bunch of great comedy writers. And
So
producers.
they're just going after my heart.
Yeah, and so basically what People of Earth is it follows a guy named Izzy Graham, who's played by Wyatt Sednick, who was a former contributor of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And he travels to a town called Beacon, and he joins an alien support group. And
Alrighty.
basically at first he's skeptical and then feels like he's going there to write a story and see if they're crazy, but then he slowly thinks that he might be an actual abductee and quits his job, becomes the writer for this small town, and tries to see if it's actually true. And so I think it has 2 shows in it because there actually are aliens in this show, and the alien thing is like a workplace comedy because the one is like grumpy and hates his coworkers and thinks they're dumb, and then the second one is the group of the people talking and living their life. So I believe it's on iTunes and the TBS app, and the first season's 10 episodes. I believe each season's 10 episodes, and I think it's a great comedy.
Yeah. Have you TV episodes are just getting shorter, or seasons are getting shorter, right?
Yeah.
Has
Yeah.
it always been?
Well, I believe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they had actually 3 mini seasons like this in this.
Which
past
is
one.
what a lot of people think The Flash should do.
I kind of agree. It lets you have better arcs, and you don't have to worry about having here's one large story arc. That was the problem. I think people didn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they tried doing the flavor of the week thing for that first season, and it wasn't really doing well up until the Captain America Winter Soldier tie-in when they revealed the whole Hydra infiltration of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then that was a really good arc for the second half. So yeah, I'd like to see more mini arcs in TV shows.
Yeah.
So I think with that being said, I think that wraps
We're
us up
about
for
ready to wrap
today.
it up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been I'd Rather Be Rich. We'll see you next week.
That's how we're gonna end it.